Now, Luvuyo Rani has shown such great perseverance and persistence when it comes to achieving his dreams. After dabbling in a few unsuccessful businesses and business ventures, the former teacher finally struck gold and is now the founder of Silulo Ulutho Technologies, an IT services company with 42 branches in South Africa. And now we are asking you on our socials, is there anything you want to ask Luvuyo about starting and growing a business? Please don't forget to use the hashtag Afternoon Express in your comments. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Lovely
so much.
to see you again.
Yes, good to see you after some time.
You've been working so hard in your life and it's absolutely showing. You've done extremely, extremely well. How did you go from starting a business in your car boot, basically, to 42 branches?
Well, it's been a journey now. It's been 15 years now. So I used to be a teacher in Khayelitsha, and I saw most teachers they can't use computers, and I resigned. So I started selling refurbished computers on the boot of a car to schools, and people say to me I'm mad. Others say that I'm stealing computers and selling back to them. And I started there, and I saw the need for teachers now to have the space where they can be trained. I started opening the first internet cafe in Khayelitsha, 206. And then through there, I could see now it's community now. They're struggling using computer now. And then I opened a school. Then school opens for a business. I mean, so it took two years to run a business in Putifeka, 3 years to get a model right. So it took us 5 years now. By 2010, it's only then that started with scaling and growing beyond Cape Town to Eastern Cape now to KZN now.
What I think a lot of people don't realize with entrepreneurs is that it's not your first business idea that just takes and then all of a sudden you're successful. It takes like almost 15 years basically to become an overnight success. But before this, you had a string of other businesses that failed before this. What were your other business ideas and investments?
Quite interesting. I mean, like we had with my friend, we had a diaper businesses where we're selling, I mean, like Kimbis for kids. It took us probably 2 months because the stock that I had in the car was broken, and then everything was been taken, and then I could not able to survive. Second business, it was with my brother. It's a cleaning company, so we bought a KB machine, and then I used to go to houses and clean their houses. And but I could realize that, I mean, also labor intensive. I'm not good in terms of like with that. And then the third business, it was with my wife, and we are running a B&B after the World Cup. And also, I could not work it out. And also the gospel, I used to host gospel artists, and that's also good. and then Silulo becomes like a kind of a business that I started in 2004, and then that's how I realized that the power of focusing in one business and give it all in terms of that business.
Today on the show we're discussing courage and bravery, and I can't imagine anything that you need a lot more courage for than taking a job like you had teaching and giving that up to follow your dream, but you're giving up security, you're giving up a set salary that you know you're earning that money every month. When you're an entrepreneur, you don't know when your next paycheck is coming from. Weren't you scared? And where did you find that courage and that self-belief from?
I think this thing comes from my mother. So when I would grow up, my mother, I mean, like, she was running a shipping. So I used to assist my mother with selling, dealing customers. And probably because entrepreneur was not fashionable, and I couldn't understand in terms of when I studied what should I do, and that courage was kind of, I mean, been there, but it's only then when I took a risk from leaving everything I had. So I had a car, I had a house, I had I mean, like, supporting my mother because the business no longer existing. I had a brother to support, so there was so much on stake to make sure that I support. And I almost, I mean, lost the car and the house because it was defaulting, and it took me 5 years. Just for me, because I was blacklisted now. I couldn't even go to any debt in any way, even to get a cell phone. So that cost me some chance, but it was a lesson for me. And it makes me to say that I cannot ever deal, I mean, like, a problem around my profile with the bank. I make sure that everything I do, my profile is always right, because I learn in terms of how it is difficult. You're looking for funding and you can't get the funding and you want to grow. And you cannot even get the funding because your name has been, I mean, blacklisted because of that.
So many people would have given up on their dreams then already because of going through that hardship. I think the minute anything gets hard, people run away from it. But thank you so much for being such an unbelievable inspiration and businessman. You're going to be here again when I interview you the next 10 years, and you'll have another 42 businesses. So let's hear what South Africa wants to ask you.
Mr. Rani, a huge brain of encouragement and upliftment. And we've been engaging with you on social media, and we've asked you, is there anything that you would love to ask Luvuyo about growing and starting a business? We've got Floyd Mofokeng here who asked, what's the most important thing to do when starting a business, Mr. Rani?
I mean, the most important thing to start a business, I mean, it's kind of one for me that works so well. It's to follow your passion. Do something that we love so much, because in the beginning it's tough. It's a lonely journey. It's a journey that is not probably incentivizing in the beginning. But if you love what you do, if you give it all what you do, it will pay itself in the long run.
Do you think that all people have the potential to be entrepreneurs? Like, I know you're also doing the Stellenbosch Small Business Steering Initiative, which is amazing with that academy.
Yes.
So, I mean, how do you mentor kids there? Can you teach entrepreneurship?
So, for me, I believe that the biggest thing that we could do as a country in terms of is stimulate more entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
That's the only way that we can create a culture where there's wealth, where there's employment. So you can be taught to be an entrepreneur. Maybe I'm speaking from being a teacher, but you can be taught to be an entrepreneur. And there's a kind of a belief that you have been made to be an entrepreneur, but I think there are many people they can be. And I think South Africa, we've got that element of selling, element of entrepreneur. So we could, create more entrepreneurs. I think what is missing is to scale and grow the businesses beyond just to start a business. It's like how to grow, how to create wealth, how to create employment. That could be a biggest problem more than to start.
Sure. Thank you so much for sharing all of this amazing advice.
Thank you.